nice basically look reputable.
People so quickly. Woo! Where is Fred? Oh my God, he actually is here. Jesus. We're ready to get 1 minute concerts. In 20 seconds, we will get going.
We still need to go on visit Fred. Look at greetings.
All right. Pat?
Are you talking about my bald spot?
Is he shiny? Does he have the forehead glow going on? Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for the 56th edition of the Coffee, Wine, and Treat Show. We are, this might be the last live one for a little while.
Yep.
As we sort of talk about what we feel like makes the most sense going forward in terms of events that we have planned, stuff that we have coming in the store, and all that kind of good stuff. We'll still be here at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. It just may not always be live, but who knows? It may be live because it's maybe sometimes a little easier than the alternative. Getting us in one place, it actually galvanizes us to actually be in a place with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was looking back at some past episodes a year ago, April 29th, round and about. And I mean, I just remember the amount of just like throwing stuff at the wall, the amount of eggs that we sold.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The greens and we were talking just the other day about the Mother's Day smorgasbord, which I still haven't quite figured out how to spell. And the prevailing wisdom is that we just don't have a lot of wisdom as to what exactly people are interested in these days. It sort of feels like we're in this weird, like we're in purgatory, sort of. Mm-hmm. Is that like a good way to describe it? I don't know.
You know,
hopefully we're getting better. Not we're going to, you know.
Yeah. What's that song when you're a kid? You know, you got 1 foot in, you got 1 foot out. We shake it about.
I know. I feel like we're in 1 foot in, 1 foot out land. But we definitely have our share of wine to talk about tonight. It's kind of fun. We always open a bottle of wine, as you probably know, as we eat our pizza before we're getting ready for the show. Tonight we opened 3, which I guess maybe sign of the times or something like that. I will have to say, though, that, you know, my drinking, and then now it came down, and I don't know exactly where I am. Where are you on your drinking plane in terms of like
much less?
Much less?
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember at this time last year, by the end of April,
by the end of any day,
not good, Jerry. I mean, just like
feeling more svelte.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, my liver, I'm sure, is happy, but damn, a year ago in April, it went from a glass or two at night to Jesus. If I had an empty bottle, it wasn't very surprising. Oh goodness! All right, so tonight we're going to talk a little coffee. We had a fun little deal we did last week that you could only cash in if you downloaded and purchased it via the Barriques Plus app. We're going to talk about that. Another deal tonight. A funky looking liqueur that Finn insisted we talk about tonight. A couple different tastings that you've heard us say some things about, and we're going to talk just in general about what the plan is going forward for our tastings. And then it's very rare that we do a 2-pack, more than one wine for our weekly wine deal. But we decided, I mean, you can't go wrong for $16 with these 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah, you any day, you have the itch. You've got, half of your people want white, half want red. You need 2 bottles of wine that you can just pour and sit back and enjoy. I mean, this is a great pairing.
For sure. And then I did bring up right at the end a little sample bottle that we tried. That I'm going to be honest. So part of our group tonight, this is the AtoZ Oregon Rosé. Some of our group said just on the bottle alone they would buy it. I would not do that personally.
Really?
Not because of the flowers, just because actually it is very well done. and it would scare me that what's in it doesn't necessarily match.
Oh, doesn't match.
Doesn't match quality, you know. And I am a buy it by the label looking kind of guy every once in a while. I mean, what did you think when they handed this to you? I know what you thought because I asked you earlier. You said, what did you say?
I thought it was probably not going to hold water. But it does hold water.
I would agree. Like,
it's very good.
Like surprisingly.
And how many rosé samples do we have in the back room?
Jesus, so many. There may have to be a live edition of the Barriques Coffee, Wine, and Treat Show just to watch us try all the rosé we have, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
A to
On
Z,
top of the rosé that we have coming in already.
Yeah. So A to Z, Oregon, rosé. Not sure 100% if it's going to be in the store, but if you find the
mostly Sangiovese.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons.
That was the weirdest thing.
Oregon, Sangiovese. Yeah. I don't know. If it shows up in the store, it's a worthwhile buy. How would you describe this vis-a-vis other rosés that people might get out there and try?
Unlike like the Southern French, Provençal style, which is more citrusy, dry, crisp, strawberry-ish. This is much more lush. It's a very well-rounded, juicier style of rosé.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, super friendly.
Friendly is the word.
Yeah.
You can chill this down, throw it out on your patio. What is this? Something like this going to retail for? Do you recall?
$13, $14.
Yeah, so well 100 priced. We're selling something we don't actually have in the store, which is probably a bad idea. Because the whole point of the CWT show is actually to sell something, and all the stuff minus this rosé that we're talking about right now is available for sale on the barriquesmarket.com website under events and CWT Live. April 28th is the date, so it's the April 28th show section. So let's maybe quickly talk about
our tasting lines.
Let's talk about the Boutinot.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the wines that we are tasting.
Yeah, the wines that we are tasting.
Okay, so there are wines that we buy because we learn a lot about who produces them, and we like the story behind them, and like the whole shtick. It's kind of like, I kind of put it, like the Lapis Luna stuff, where we've gotten to know Andrew and those guys, the folks at Forest, Union Cellars, things like that. Story, people. High quality, the Grace, Tim.
Yep.
There are those wines, and then there are wines that are developed really. I mean, that's the best way to put it, is they're developed by big companies that like kind of try to go out and find good quality producers and design wines to meet a certain market. And that's what our wines are tonight, which sometimes is it ends up with a bad thing.
Yeah.
But in the case of the Boutinot, sorry.
Yep.
Boutinot, Jean-Paul Rouge, and the Blanc Sec. I mean, this is sick amount of value for the dollar. So typically these things retail for $10 a piece, and we're doing the pairing. I just have to talk about the price first, just because it is so great. So it would be $10 for the red, $10 for the white. We're doing the pairing for $16, which is like incredible. But tell us why you decided to pull the trigger on these guys.
Well, the Boutinot project was actually created by people in London, and they started out in France wanting to find regional wines. The white that we have is from Gascony. This is from Vaucluse, the red, and they're trying to find wines that are identifiable to the region where they came from, using the indigenous or the classic varietals from those areas to make their wines. And so they're trying to do it in the the French style. And so the Cuvée Jean-Paul from Vaucluse is mostly Syrah and Grenache, and they both show exactly what they're supposed to show. I mean, stylistically, flavor-wise, the white is we tasted actually in the roastery. We had the sample bottles, and we fell in love with it right away. The red we've been selling already, and is very enjoyable. Has that nice florally violet aromatics with the blackberry and everything else. But the white really shows the Uni, Blanc, and Colombard. It has that nice green melon fruit, good citrus quality to it. It's dry, as it implies in the name. Blanc de Blanc, sec means dry white. And for the money, I mean, it's like I say, these are patio wines. It's just, you need a white, you need a red, you need to open them up. It's perfect.
The red is smooth, like good body, reasonably dry. Definitely tastes of the grape varietals. Not like super distinctly, but it's $10 a bottle.
Yeah.
And what is it? Uni Blanc and Colombard.
Yep.
Not exactly your household grape names necessarily.
If you live in Gascony, that is your go-to whites.
That is your go-to whites.
Yeah.
But super refreshing, crisp. I mean, we don't pair wines often because it sort of splits people. They're diametrically opposed. You like white, you like red. But this is just like a complete no-brainer.
Yeah. If you're having a graduation party, you need a red and a white. These are great red and whites.
These are great red and whites. Yeah. And so you can purchase, if you would like, you can buy the individual bottles. Go ahead for $9.99 a bottle. Not a problem. Or you can buy the 2-pack, which is out there and available for sale at barriquesmarket.com under that April 28th shows section for $16, right? $16. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a ridiculous redonkulous deal.
Yeah, we had a few people pull the trigger on doing a mixed red and white case.
Yeah. So. Monroe Street, Middleton, and Fitchburg is what that 2-pack is available at. I think the red is more widely available. Is that a true statement? Yeah. The white just at the 3 stores. So it's a pretty low barrier to entry if you want to just take a chance on something. And this is clearly not something that's going to last sit in your refrigerator forever. But I mean, for the next year, the next 12 months, 18 months, it's just going to be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
2 years at least.
Yeah. So that is the Jean-Paul Boutinot Rouge and Blanc de Blanc Sec. I'm kind of interested. Why do you think they threw the Sec at the end of that? You see Blanc de Blanc all the time. Is that just to really reinforce the fact that it's dry?
Blanc de Blanc means white.
Yeah.
It means that they're using only white varietals. You typically see that in champagne. The Sec is just to throw on there that it's dry.
Just to reinforce the point.
Yeah, no residual sugar to it.
Yeah. Pretty interesting wines.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we have a couple wines or a couple tastings on the calendar. One as soon as this coming Friday, which I've been kind of eagerly anticipating. It's always fun to talk to. Our guest host is Matthew Nugan, and we are going to be featuring wines from the Nugan estate, which is pretty awesome. He's got a great first name, and he also happens to obviously be very associated with the folks that produce the wine. And it's just like, I even think back to the spirits producer in Dane, the whiskey producer.
Jay Henry.
Jay Henry. Yeah. And the son, he was so awesome.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat having
family passion.
Yeah, I mean Steve Bird, and you can go down the list. It's hard to beat having a tasting with the people that are so this is their life basically. So that is Friday, and what do we have? 3 different wines.
This is a classic Australian varietals.
Yeah.
Shiraz, of course, Cabernet, and Chardonnay. Matthew Nugan will be talking to us from Australia.
Yep.
And so 7 o'clock Friday night will be, I think, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Is that what it is?
I think it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon to Australia. So he doesn't have to stay up late or get up super early to do this.
Nope.
But he is giving up a Saturday afternoon to hang out with us for a while.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is he a Matthew, or just to go by Matt? What do we know? Do we know that question?
I've only known him as Matthew.
Okay. Well, so he must get in trouble a lot, because the only time I ever heard Matthew was when I was in trouble. So anyway, so that is Friday. You can
see know what his middle name is.
Yeah, I would like to find out. I'm actually going to ask him that question.
That would be very funny.
$32.98 is what the tasting pack costs. You can upgrade that a little bit with the extra 3rd bottle. If you decide to purchase that, there's still plenty of time. Even if you buy it, I get emails at noon on Friday or 4 o'clock on Friday. Hey, I just bought the wine. Send me the Zoom link. We'll be happy to do that. So you have plenty of time to take advantage. And it should be great. I mean, I literally, to a T, all the tastings that we've had, not to downplay the ones that aren't with people that are owners of the business or namesakes of the business, but they've all been really kind of extra special. You just get that personal touch to these things. I don't know. I'm pretty fired up about it. And it is completely classic varietals to Australia. All right, so that is Nugan. And then we have the very much talked about Zorzal, Argentinian wine tasting with winemaker, again, another owner, winemaker, founder, tasting Jean-Paul Michelini or Jumpy, right?
Jumpy.
Jean-Paul, yeah. Jean-Paul. Yeah, right, there we go. Yeah. Jumpy.
Jumpy.
Wumpy? Is it Wumpy?
Wumpy. You don't pronounce the J.
Don't pronounce the J, okay. Wumpy.
Wumpy is his nickname.
Hard to have your siblings in the audience. But he will be joining us 7 o'clock the following Friday, so the 14th of May. And that is, he's going to be coming to us, as is Matthew from Australia. He's going to be coming to us right from Argentina.
Yep.
And maybe just quick run through the couple. What?
Oh, yeah.
What was I
I was going to say he's from south of Mendoza.
South of Mendoza.
Yeah, so he's only a couple hours off.
Yeah, the time difference is not quite as extreme as Australia. We did a little something different with the tasting pack on this one. Maybe just quick run through the different wines. And
so the tasting pack is red wines out of the gate. And so classic Malbecs. And we have the regular terroir de Unico, kind of showing the Argentinian terroir. And then we have their Grand Terroir, which is more of a single vineyard, more exclusive style of Malbec. And then we have their Pinot Noir, which is not something you typically hear from Argentina, but the higher altitude southern Argentine Pinots are really awesome. We just got another one in called Barda, very unique Pinots. And so that's our tasting pack.
Yeah.
And then outside that, the additional one, which we don't normally do, is having the white on the outside. But this is a very exclusive bottling. It's their Ego Blanco. This is a Sauvignon Blanc done in concrete eggs.
Yep.
And I think there was 500 cases made.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. We found out through John in Denver, we are way below market price on it. And so he actually helps support the pricing on this. So in the future, when I bring this in, it's going to be closer to $30 a bottle. So I would take advantage of a very cool white wine from Argentina.
I think he almost choked when we told him how much we were charging for it.
Well, I went back and looked at our inventory, and I saw that one of the stores had the Ego Cab Franc that I ordered a year and a half ago, and I'm like, and I texted right away. I'm like, do you still have those 2 bottles? Because I wanted the 2 bottles, and they're like, no, everything
wrong, bad inventory.
That's so wrong, bad inventory.
So Zorzal Argentinian wine, the 14th of May, still have an opportunity to purchase that. And as we had said, the Nugan estate is this coming Friday. It is I'm jumping.
The 30th.
The 30th.
30th and the 14th.
I believe the 7th we have
no tasting.
No tasting.
Yeah.
So 7th we've got no tasting. I believe the way it's going to work. Yeah, right. Free Friday.
We might be doing it from the patio of maybe the Union or.
I don't think. Can you go to the Union?
Tanya offered.
Oh, somebody's house. Okay.
Yeah, she offered a patio.
Oh yeah, Tanya's got a nice new patio.
Right. So we've got the wine. If you've got the patio, you are welcome to invite us. FINN@barriquesmarket.com or MATT@barriquesmarket.com.
We'll bring the wine.
There we go. That's a good plan. So then we've got the 14th. We've got the 21st. We're not exactly sure. 28th is right before Memorial Day. We're going to skip it, and then we're going to go into whatever the new evolution of these.
I do believe we'll have a Portuguese
for the first week in June.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we've been. Long story. Wine not here. Guy can do it. Wine shows up. Guy can't do it.
Gotcha.
Now I think we have wine and person.
Yeah.
Finally coming together.
So I think we're probably going to be on like an every other week type of thing as we get into the summer. Hopefully things have loosened up outside and elsewhere, and we can get out there and enjoy things other than sitting and looking at a computer.
Yeah. And I'm hoping, we'll get to do a tasting
In
face
person?
to face
Oh, that would be great.
sometime soon.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Yeah,
Cheers
see
to
you all.
that. Let's give a woo for that. I don't really have a whole lot to say. The only thing when I look at the Aperol, Finn, is the stories that people told me about how you make maraschino cherries.
Yeah, the long marinated.
I mean, just like under the ground, whatever the voodoo stories are about that stuff. But you apparently have some of this at home, and you're going to be drinking this weekend. But give the lowdown and what are you going to do with this incredibly red liqueur?
Well, historically in Italy, every family has a family recipe. They make something that's similar to like an Aperol of bitters or a digestivo, which is more like an Amaro, like a Fernet Branca style. Aperol compared to something like Campari, I prefer Aperol a little bit more. With a little bit of Google's help, which I have ordered several times in the past year, is the Aperol Spritz. And according to Wikipedia, it's like in the top 4 cocktails in the world.
Really?
You would think margarita.
For sure.
Margarita is number 1. Apparently, Aperol Spritz is one of the top drinks in the world, and it's a bitters. It's made with a mix of flowers and rhubarb, and if you think of rhubarb, it has a bitter edge to it. And the Aperol Spritz is 3 parts Prosecco, 2 parts Aperol, 1 part soda, and then you put an orange, like a half of a orange slice in it.
Gotcha.
And you pour that on the rocks. So, for Tanya, a really large wine glass, 3, 2, 1, just like making crepes or concrete, same thing. 3, 2, 1 is the mix. But it is such a great summer drink. It's so refreshing. It's lighter in alcohol, so it's not going to power you down or anything like that. It's just much more of a refreshing style of drink. I really do like it.
What is the alcohol content of this thing? 11%.
Yeah.
11%. So yeah, I mean less than a bottle of wine.
Yeah. Prosecco would have a little bit more than
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Recipe on the back of the bottle, just in case you're wondering. Fruit included. So sounds like you guys are going to be drinking Aperol Spritzes.
I'm drinking Aperol Spritzes this weekend.
Why? What's going on with what's happening?
Well, it's warmer weather and patio.
So just for the hell of it.
Talk about longevity.
Yeah. So let's say you're wondering, oh my gosh, I'm going to go buy this 750 milliliter bottle of Aperol, Aperol, and what if I just can't drink it all because you don't put that much in the cocktail? Yeah. It'll last. We were wondering how long this thing would last. Like, Finn, how long is it going to last? Oh, it's a while. I'm thinking 18 months. He's like, well, it's going to start turning probably brown in 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. If I have this thing in 5 years, then I have a problem.
Yeah.
So you get plenty of use out of it once it's opened.
It's super flavorful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$24.99 is what this thing is on the shelf at. I know I'm putting you on the spot here. Any other cocktails that they use the Aperol in that you know of that are?
Well, you do that like Aperol 7. That would be very low in alcohol.
Yeah.
Some people just do it on the rocks with a lemon twist.
Okay. Okay. So.
That's much more for the bitter head.
For sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. So $24.99 is what this is available for sale out there at barriquesmarket.com. Middleton, Fitchburg, Monroe Street are the 3 stores you can pick this up at. Hey, we just came up with a pretty easy cocktail for you. You don't have to have a whole lot other than this bottle, a little Prosecco, which you maybe should grab some of the Adami Prosecco as well.
Or if you still have Adami left over.
Yep, there you go.
Or whatever.
And a little soda, a little bit of orange. You're good to go. Very good. Awesome. Aperol.
That might have been a good liquor to do when we did the Adami.
You should have chosen a side for the next day.
Yeah.
Give some Aperol. Okay. 2022 when we do the next Prosecco tasting. Dear God, let's hope we're back and still be sitting.
Well,
here.
you could do mimosas or Aperol Spritz for Mother's Day.
Oh, good idea. I am going to buy one of these bottles. I was hoping we were going to open it tonight, but I'm going to get one of those. I dig the I dig Prosecco, and why not throw something else in it?
Mhm.
All right, last but not least, you've got these 4 fantastic looking bottles bags of coffee right here. This is our powerhouse espresso, the Forge Espresso. It is the coffee that we use to pull the shots for any espresso-based drink that you get in our stores, lattes, cappuccinos, mochas, you name it.
And if you've ever had one of our Americanos, it is a great cup of coffee.
It is a great cup of coffee.
It's a great cup of coffee.
That is actually probably one of the most underutilized drinks that we have in our arsenal for myself that I don't take advantage of. This was one of the first things when we started roasting coffee about 10 years ago that we went to design. We needed something that was going to stand up with milk, had great taste, was fun with when you had it just as a straight up double espresso. It's just obviously incredibly important for our business.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys spend a lot of time tuning the Forge to make sure that it delivers on our promise.
Yeah, we're always tweaking.
Yeah.
We're always trying to pay attention to the profile, retasting. And I even tasted almost exclusively, I think, every time I go into any of our stores. I pull a shot just to see how it's tasting.
For sure. And the one kind of other interesting fact about the Forge, it is the only coffee that we actually age, I would say.
Yeah.
Age is maybe not in wine terms, but in coffee terms, it benefits from most of the rest of our coffee is literally, it comes out of the roaster and it goes into the store the next day.
Yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much. Sometimes it's out of the roaster in the bag.
Just like literally that day. The Forge is something we stock a little bit of so that it's 2, 3, 4 days after, because it just needs to settle a little bit. I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, it's when you roast coffee, when it first comes out, you have a lot of trapped gas in the beans, and trying to pull a shot of espresso with fresh espresso is impossible. Your shot times are going to be way off. It's going to be weird.
Yeah. And
so you need the beans to kind of degas down a little bit.
For sure.
You need them much more settled, and then you can pull a really smooth shot.
Yeah. It's probably not going to be a surprise. We have sold more whole bean espresso in the last 12 months than probably the last 3 or 4 years, as many of you have been at home throwing down your coffee game at your home espresso machines. This is out there and available for sale always. It's out there on the April 28th show section at our regular $13.95 pricing, but we decided to do a little bit of a deal like we did last week with the Mighty Peace Coffee Umoja, where if you download the Barriques Plus app, there are a couple coffees that we have listed in there under the whole bean section. It's kind of all the way at the bottom of the items. And we've got this coffee there, and it's a buy one, get one free basically deal where you can pick it up at the store and be in some fantastic espresso for the next week or so.
And if you were one of those really cool campers that picked up the camping press that we talked about.
Oh yeah, the AeroPress, the Aero Travel Press.
Yeah, Aero Travel Press. This is smoking for a travel press.
Set it on low amount of fluid and just pound it through.
Yep.
Nice.
Pocket espresso.
Pocket espresso.
Yep.
So Forge Espresso, always out there and available for sale at barriquesmarket.com. You can order it for pickup in the store. You can order it to ship out to a friend or to yourself with our $5 flat rate shipping. And if you really want a great deal, you go either to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and look up Barriques Plus, and you'll see our app out there. You can order your food and drinks and all that kind of good stuff in advance, whichever store you would like. And some of the whole bean coffee that we have listed out there includes the Forge, which is available specifically solely for with this 2-for-1 deal. So I mean, it's $13.95 would regularly be $27 some odd dollars. It's a pretty great deal. I don't know if I'm buying espresso, that's what I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's about it.
That looks like a party.
30 minutes and 44 seconds.
Woo! Woo!
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you joining us on another Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you here next week, Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Perhaps not live. We'll have to just sort of see. We have actually a lot of things to talk about next week, though.
We do have a lot.
So we'll see what happens. But do appreciate your support. And we will look forward to hopefully seeing you around one of the stores sometime soon.
Yeah.
Cheers. All right.
Thank you.